know it's been a while, but I'm finally back. A lot of you may wonder where I've been and what I have been up to, so just to let you know, I'm in Vietnam right now with my family, just resting and doing nothing. There are probably a lot of noises around here, but that's how it is in Vietnam all the time, so I'm really sorry if you hear anything in the background. I'm really sorry that I was not active for such a long time, but my job was so busy I barely had time for anything. It's the end of 2019 and almost 2020 already. It's gonna be another decade, and I don't know how you guys are feeling about that, but I can tell you that I'm really excited. It's a good time to take a look back at 2019 and share with you guys what I've done so far this year. I really want to do this because for me 2019 is a very special year. It really marked a lot of significant changes in my life. Recently, I was talking with a friend and he mentioned that I'm like a blooming flower this year. And to be honest, that does sound corny, but I cannot agree more with that statement because of how much changes and growth I have gone through this year. I follow a lot of inspirational Instagram accounts, and one of the posts that I saw recently says that your entire life can really change in a year. You just got to love yourself enough to know you deserve more, be brave enough to demand more, and be disciplined enough to actually work for more. And this is just so true for me considering how much my life has improved in just a year. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I'm really curious about how it is for you guys. Do you think that this saying is true for you as well? Now, looking back at December last year, I was going through so much pain and I was deep in depression. I explained a bit about this in a video that I posted 7 months ago. The title of the video was Depression in Japan Surviving My 20s and Quarter Life Crisis, which surprisingly was something that a lot of people can resonate with. At that time, I was going through a very bad breakup that really broke me into pieces and left me feeling like there's no reason to live and there's no meaning in life either. I was scared of living because I was terrified whenever I think that I may have to go through all of this pain again in the future. I was crying all the time and I continuously had nightmares and couldn't sleep. I was not able to eat without wanting to vomit. I lost weight and I still blame myself for my own pain. When I was in so much pain, I wanted to scream out loud and let everyone know my pain, but I also realized that it didn't help at all. The more I tried to show people how miserable I was, the more miserable I felt. I felt isolated and lonely that all of the people that can comfort me are so far away. Every day was a fight against my own emotion and negativity. I hated my job, the environment I was working in, and the area I was living in. I didn't feel like myself, and at some point, I even felt like I lost my soul. I felt like I was just surviving but not really living. However, I also mentioned in the video that I made before that I knew I was the only one who could change my life. I subscribed to Headspace, which is an app that provides guided daily meditation and sleep meditation, and I listened to this every single day. That was the only thing that could help me ease my physical pain and fall asleep. I also listened to a lot of motivational videos on YouTube every single morning because morning was the hardest time for me. Every day I would wake up from nightmare and chest pain, trying to eat but just ended up wanting to vomit. So I would always try my best to have at least some hot soup while listening to motivational videos. It was horrible. Some days were better than others. It was usually like one step forward then a few steps back. But I just had to keep fighting because I wanted to live happily and healthily again. At the same time, I got so sick and sometimes even panic attack when I accidentally saw some unwanted posts from other people on social media, so I stayed away from it for almost half a year. This was one of the best decisions I have ever made because it really gave me the space for me to take care of myself and care less about other people. Now I use social media again, but I use it in a way that does not affect me negatively. If there's anything or anyone that makes me feel bad, I will just block them out. I also keep my notifications off most of the time so that I can concentrate more on my real life. I mentioned before as well that I had a weekly session with a therapist on better health for several months, and this went on for a while until I decided that I didn't need help anymore. At the same time, I knew that I had to change my whole environment to be able to feel better, so I prepared my CV and applied to as many companies as possible. I finally got an offer to work as a web designer in a creative agency in Tokyo, which was truly a dream come true for me. I plan to explain more about this job in another video. Anyway, as I accepted the job, I informed my previous company that I was going to leave, prepare for my leaving, and finally move from Yokohama to Tokyo at the end of March. Around the same time, I also started pole dancing, and I'm so glad I did. Some of you guys who are following me on Instagram probably have seen some of my pole dancing videos. To be honest, I'm still really bad at it, but it's one of my source of happiness these days. There are many tricks to learn, and whenever I become able to do a new trick, the people taking class with me or the teacher always cheer for me that I felt so encouraged every time, and that really keeps me want to try more. Pole dancing is really tiring and painful, but as I keep doing it every week, my body and my muscle get stronger, which allow me to do more things on the pole. And that feeling when you start to be able to do something you couldn't is just amazing. Looking at the strong women there really makes me want to become one of them. So this is definitely something that I want to continue in 2020. I also had my first pole dance performance in November this year. I did this performance with 6 other girls, and it was an interesting experience to be on the stage, even though we all messed it up in a different way. I was really bad, I was totally out of my comfort zone, but I'm still glad that I did that. I also mentioned before that I started taking Korean classes again this year, and I've been going to class almost every weekend. My Korean skill is still terrible, but it got a bit better compared to before. My pronunciation definitely got a bit better, and now I can communicate a bit more with my broken Korean. Anyway, I was so busy that I couldn't really spend as much time as I wanted to study, and that is something I hope I can improve next year. I definitely want to continue learning until conversational level at least, so that's one of my goals for 2020. I enrolled in driving school this year as well, and I already finished all of the classes, tests, and graduated from the driving school. It was pretty tiring and stressful to go to driving school with my crazily busy schedule, but somehow I managed to handle it. I still haven't got my license yet because I still have to go to the driving license center and take the writing test first. This can only be taken on weekdays, and so far I haven't had the time to go yet, so I'll probably get it at the beginning of next year. It was great to finally know how to drive, and I cannot wait to finally rent a car and drive by myself. However, it's also a bit scary to drive in Tokyo, to be honest, because there are so many people and I seriously don't want to hit anybody. This year I also met a lot of new people. Well, that includes the people I met on dating app as well, but that counts because they did teach me new things about life, I guess. But besides those people, I participated in some meetup events in Tokyo for designers and tech people, and it was really nice to get to know new people and learn about their job. I made some new friends as well, so I really want to do this more next year. I also connected more with my friends this year, and I seriously just felt so loved by them. I spent a lot of time with different groups of friends, even traveling with them, and really tried my best to be there for them this year. Thanks to that, I rarely feel lonely, and I always feel like there are people who are always there for me, and I just always feel so lucky. I also got to travel to Philippines, Korea, Osaka, Okinawa, and finally back to Vietnam this year. So I think 2019 really treated me well in that way. I got my first tattoo this year too, so I guess that's something to remember as well. This year, my YouTube suddenly went from 1,000 subscribers to 19,000 subscribers, and that was a huge change too. I didn't really tell my friends and my family about my YouTube when I first started, so it took me probably 5 months to get my first 100 subscribers. After that, it took over a year to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I just kept posting videos regularly while making sure that the quality is as good as possible, hoping that finally my videos will get noticed one day. It finally happened this year when one of my videos blew up and I really didn't expect this to happen. I guess I finally got lucky and I'm grateful for that. I'm just so happy to be able to receive so many comments, messages, and emails from people sharing their life and feelings with me. I used to struggle a lot to get views on YouTube, but now that I have people who are waiting for my videos, it really means a lot to me. I'm so happy to know that my videos can have possible impact on other people, and it really motivates me to keep posting. After all, the biggest reason why I wanted to make YouTube videos was to share my own experience with more people, and now I feel like finally it's happening. However, this year was so full of ups and downs and changes that I wasn't able to post videos as much as I could. This is definitely something I want to work on next year as well. I also wanted to start a podcast as I mentioned several months ago, so I will try to make time for that in 2020 if possible. I receive a lot of questions from you guys, and normally there are a lot of questions that I cannot really answer well with a video. So I think I may just take those questions and answer them in the podcast. If you have any idea or any suggestion, feel free to let me know. I just love talking and sharing my feelings as well as my experience with people, and I think both podcast and YouTube are great ways to do so. I'm just grateful that people still stick around and wait for me even though I'm so inconsistent with my posting this year, and I just want to say thank you a lot and I really mean it. Anyway, I guess the last big change and also the biggest change in my life this year is my career transition. I started to work as a web designer this year and I have no relevant experience or official educational background, so things aren't easy. My salary dropped significantly when I changed to this job, and my working hours also became way longer. It's quite common to just keep working 12 to 16 hours or even more these days, even on weekends, just to be able to finish my job. A lot of people are worried about my work-life balance and my health as well, and I totally understand your concern. However, things aren't that simple. Of course, I'm working a lot these days, but I'm also learning a lot as well. After the last 8 months of doing this job, my skill improved significantly, and the things I can do keep increasing. Rather than thinking that I'm underpaid, I'd like to think that it's a time that I get to study, gain experience, and be paid for that. So that way of thinking really keeps me going and motivated. Another good thing about my job is that I really like my working environment and my coworkers, so I don't have much stress. Even though I want to keep doing YouTube, studying Korean, learning pole dance, and do other stuff as well, I cannot just do everything at once. I just really hate the feeling that I'm not fully investing in something and not doing it properly. So in 2020, I really want to spend more time on studying for this job and be better at it as well. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but after doing coding for several months, now I think I really want to become a good front-end developer. To be able to do that, I need to study a lot more and get much better than how I am now. And I think the only way is to keep doing my job and gain more experience while studying more during my free time. I really believe that if I keep doing this for 1 to 2 more years, not only my skill will improve significantly, but also my income will increase as well. Therefore, even though I have to work really hard right now, I believe that it will always be worthwhile at the end. So that's all about me this year. At this point of my life, I cannot be happier with what I have, and I really look forward to more good things to come in the future. Going from somewhere so low earlier this year to where I am now, I'm just both amazed and grateful. Knowing how much my life can change in a year, I'm more positive now that my life will get better if I keep working hard. Anyway, enough about me. How about you guys? How has 2019 been for you? What have you achieved so far? What do you want to do but haven't been able to do this year? What is your plan for 2020 as well as for the next decade? I'd love to hear more about you guys as well. For now, enjoy your holiday and Happy New Year very soon. I'll see you guys around. Bye!